What would you do if you found a 1954 Gibson Les Paul from the original owner, from his grandson? It's been in the family since '54. I'm sure you would get there as soon as you could. Check it out right now. This is John in Southern California. He's been on a plane and he is there just in time to buy this guitar right before he swung by NAMM. Before we cut to John and you see this amazing Gibson Les Paul, I want you to hit that button right down here below. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell so you know when new videos come up. All right, let's go to John.
Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Thank you so much for letting me pop up here. My name's John. I've been buds with Jeremy for a year or two now. I have a store called True Vintage Guitar. I sell vintage guitars online, so I'm always out hunting guitars. Jeremy, love your channel, love hearing all the information you're dropping on hunting vintage guitars. I'm out here in San Diego, California. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, but I've been hunting this 54 Gibson Les Paul Goldtop for about 5 months now, and I'm so stoked to see it. I should see it in about an hour or so. But here's the stuff that I brought. Number one, a book. This is the Les Paul Legacy, the early years, up until 1963. I love the information in this book. It has some awesome, interviews with Ted McCarty. You want to see how the Les Paul changed from 52 all the way up till 63. Check out this book. So I always like to bring a book along if I, need to brush up on my information and what's right and what's wrong and that kind of stuff. This is the StewMac screwdriver kit. It's got all the different screw heads and different attachments. It's even got this little attachment to clean off your screw head if it's like kind of rusty and stuff. That happens a lot. I remember a Strat that I was looking at, 64 Strat, that was just wrecked out. It was awesome. All the screws were frozen up, so I had to use something like this to kind of clean off the screw heads. Actually, I remember now what happened. I asked the lady that was selling it if she had an old toothbrush, and she brought out a toothbrush and we kind of brushed off the screw heads. But if I'd had this at the time, it would have been a lot simpler. So next I've got my black light, and this is mildly useful. If you've got good lighting in the place that you're buying the guitar, then you can kind of move the guitar around in the light and look for repairs and breaks in the finish and any overspray or refin, that kind of stuff. But if you don't have good lighting, you can also use a black light, and that will help reveal different layers of finish of different ages, because when a lacquer finish ages, it kind of ambers as it's exposed to light and oxygen. So if you have an original finish and then a repair 20 years later, usually they will show up differently under the black light. Lastly, I am bringing this battery-powered tiny AC30. These sellers are not guitar players. We don't know what happened to the amplifier. It's been gone for who knows how long. So they don't have an amplifier, so if I want to plug in this electric guitar, I got to bring something with me. So I was even able to fly with this little battery-powered amplifier, and that's just going to allow me to plug it in and check the pickups and check the output. If it's close to playable, I'll get to play it a little bit as well, which everybody enjoys that. If you want your sellers to feel comfortable, then you want to play the guitar and enjoy it in front of them. So yeah, if you have to negotiate the price, you want everybody to be in a good mood. And lastly, 1/4-inch cable so I can plug it in. Anyway, that's what I'm bringing this time. Jeremy, I would love to hear from you what you bring on guitar safaris. I'm going to see this guitar in about an hour, and I hope everything goes well. If it does, I will show you this Gibson Les Paul Goldtop, so I will let you know what happens. Thanks, man.
John, great question. I actually have a video where I talk about that, what I bring with me, but it shows where I'm coming from. My wheelhouse is old acoustic guitars. So what I bring with me is a new pair of strings, some extra guitar picks, a tuner, a capo, a little screwdriver. I bring Wirecutters with me. I bring all the things I would need that if I had to, I could do a setup on the guitar right there. I used to use the trick a lot of restringing people's guitars before I bought them, but now once you buy and sell enough guitars and gear, you get to where thumpy strings and all, I can hear what a guitar would sound like with dead strings. And I love how you articulated that this is not necessarily so that you can hear if the guitar sounds good or not, or if you could really play the guitar, but this is just, does the guitar work? Are the pickups working? Because in that guitar, if a P90 is out, if the coil is open, oh my goodness, that's a serious problem and really affects the value. That is such a good idea to bring a little battery-powered amp. I'm gonna go find one. Maybe it's time for me to finally get one of those little Boss katanas.
Finally, I just bought the guitar, left their house, the moment you've been waiting on, this 1954 Gibson Les Paul model. Here it is. Let me turn you around. Clean original case, nice condition. Woo! A one family owned 1954 Gibson Les Paul model, Goldtop. Wrap tailpiece, beautiful condition, got the old flat wounds. You can even see a little bit of that orange silk since this was probably Gibson made strings, probably from the 60s. So there's a little corrosion on all the parts. It hasn't been cleaned, adjusted, set up, or anything, at least since the original owner died, which was in 1954. So we've got a little bit too much relief in the neck, but I checked the truss rod nut and it's nice working condition. The only thing that I found that had been done is this switch tip was replaced. I've got a nice amber tip to go on there. But yeah, look at that. Some light checking. There's a little bit of greening and the bronze in the finish. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Got the tall speed knobs. Great neck angle. Good frets. We do have some fret wear. Let's see if we can kind of get a little bit. Might increase our exposure a little bit. There we go. So yeah, not sure if you can kind of see how much fret wear is there, but it's really, really mild. I mean, there's certainly no risk of this needing a refret. But it's plenty dusty, dirty. I did plug it in. The output jack was, really corroded, so we were getting some connection issues. But I metered both pickups. They meter out at about 7.2 or 3K, somewhere around there, both of them. Yeah, so man, well worth the trip. Look at that. Whew. I'm so excited to get this thing home and get it set up, put some proper, 10s or 11s on there, and play it. All right, look at that nice slab of mahogany on the back, flats on, beautiful. No neck repairs. Kind of see as we go up, you can see some playing wear. So they're the original tuners. Those are no-line Klusons with the opal, commonly called keystone buttons. So this seller was the grandson of the original owner. His name was Andy. We had been talking since September about the guitar, and he kind of played a little bit of guitar, but he knew this was a little bit out of his league. So he never really played it, never had it set up or anything. They did nothing to it. Since the original owner died, his granddad, and I believe they said 1998. So, yeah, that's it. 1954 Gibson Les Paul model. More on this one to come. How freaking rad is that guitar? That is so cool. John, thanks for taking us along, buddy. Hey, everybody, you need to go follow John at True Vintage Guitar. He's tagged right here. He is a wonderful friend of mine. I always say that guitar hunters fill the world with music and friendship. It has been so fun getting to become really good friends with John. We text a lot. We just built a really meaningful friendship around guitars, what they do in us, through us, what they do in the world around us. All of his info is going to be tagged below. Thanks for watching this video. I am Jeremy the Guitar Hunter. If you want to support this channel, you can go to jeremytheguitarhunter.com. You can buy a t-shirt in the store, or you can just check out all of the cool stuff. I've just recently reworked that whole website because I want it to be a tool and a resource to you guys. Lastly, I just started a Patreon page. Go over to Patreon. If you become a patron, you'll get to see videos before they come up. You'll get to have live Q&As with me. I'm going to start making some downloadable content for you guys that you will be able to access if you partner with me to help these videos keep going. For $1,000, I will make a custom guitar for you every month. Let's see how many months in a row I could keep that up, or you could keep that up. That'd be a good challenge for both of us. Can I build cool guitars month over month? And then I would all of a sudden have a guitar business. That'd be awesome. So go to Patreon, become a patron. It would mean so much to me if you help support this channel and get it to where this is my full-time gig. Guys, I am so thankful that we're in this together. Good to see you. Go check out John's channel. Subscribe below. See you later.